Surprise, surprise! I thought I'd get in a couple of minutes early, seeing I was a few minutes late last time I was on. And look who it is who's first. Whoop whoop! Hello, Luke. How are you today, my son? How are you, my son? Trying to do my best Mufasa. Oh, hello. Greetings. Welcome once again to another fun-packed and thrilling edition of Saturday Knight Reaver, but on a Monday. Yeah, I could not think of anything. I don't know what. Well, I could have done Mechanica Monday. Oh my god. Oh my Messiah. Oh. That's it, I'm going. Got it. I'm back again. Hey! Hey there, little girl. How are you all doing? See, just sneak in there. I've already primed and based. I've just got to do some bits that I've missed with the spray. I don't know if there's anybody, obviously there's any, Si's here as well. Hello. Monday Night Maniacs. Knackered from work, but happy to hear Father's chuckle. Chuckle I can, yes. Not the greatest Yoda, but it's identifiable as Yoda. So yes, Mr. Reaver. I believe this one's a Mister. I haven't thought of it being a female. Sorry, I just because there's a bit of a delay from my OBS and what I'm seeing on the YouTube thing. So if I look at the OBS, I can see that, and then I can see the chat going on. And welcome, Judge Cohen. Welcome to the hobby hangout of Saturday Night Reaver, here exclusive on a Monday. I wolfed down dinner. I went for a very simple 2 quarter pounders, homemade, home cooked, I suppose. Yeah, it was really great. Tesco's finest. And yeah, it's seems to be repeating a little bit. So luckily you're not here, because otherwise you might have been getting a little bit of the yeah. We won't go down that far. It's too early. It's before the watershed. We don't want to hear about bodily functions, or anything like that. Not on this show at this time. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly go around and do some little touching ups where the spray didn't quite catch into the positions that I would require it to. But yeah, so what is everybody working on tonight? So we've got Judge Cohen doing his Audax, using my method. Much appreciated. I hope you find it as easy as I did. It is it's just too easy, and it looks quite good. I know there's a few people that have used it and done variations from it, but that method does give you a good base to work from, and then you can just jazz it up from there, really. So. But yeah, I was doing the Vulturum because I was going to be doing some more Audax, but you guys in the chat spoke out that it had to be a new Legio because the 2 Warhounds I started on was going to be named after my 2 children in the in the chat. Oh, hey Scott, hey buddy, welcome to Saturday Night Reaver Monday edition. So yeah, I got convinced. It wasn't hard really because Rob was speaking sense. And it actually feels right, and I actually really do like how my Malanax, not Malanax. Hey, Macton. Welcome. Welcome one and all. I'll be doing some more welcoming, I'm sure, but it's nice to see some regular faces and friendly faces and people from other social medias all popping in. So yeah, so here, this one is Ivy. I can't remember the name. What? It had Maury at the end of it. So yeah, so I used the Malanax decals, as you can see there, to add some interesting sort of points of view to look at. I really like how that looks as well. So, like with Luke's one, as it focuses, if I get that out of the way, focus. There you go. I like it running down the way it is on that carapace there as well. You know, I had to cut them at various lengths, and there might be a couple of bits patched in. That's all one, actually. Unfortunately, they don't do white versions of the script for Malanax, but I think they look better coming with the bone background, so it just stands out more and it draws the eye to it. So it's like, you know, it's a feature at the end of the day. The weathering, I've done no oil weathering on this. This is just basically Agrax. My friend, my friend that is Agrax, is on there, and you see you can achieve quite good sort of looks. I might have to just notice. See, that's the thing. Sometimes when you take photographs of your Titans and look at them from the angles of the cameras, and right, sometimes you see things that you may have missed. And I've just noticed something that I might have missed on here. But yeah, so very subtle work with that. I was actually quite pleased that they're a silvery trim. So obviously, like with Mr. Reaver, lead belcher all over, and it will just work out quite nice, I reckon. And obviously, I had to go with the mirrored looks, dead white scars. Nothing against white scars. I think they're really cool. But yeah, stuck them on there, and obviously the mirror look with the posing as well as the weapons on these. I will be adding more weapons as well, but I was obviously so enthusiastic at getting these two done, I forewent any other weapons for them. Yes, hello, I'm Ivy, I'm Luke. They sound nothing like that. Sorry, I'm in a funny geeky mood. Intensivist Mori. Thank you very much. And the other one was Letishi Mori, I believe. Cheers. Yeah, those runes, the runes really do stand out. You know, certain colour schemes work really well, and especially the bone and black complement each other in a weird way. I do like with Ozzydax with their sort of like half and half schemes or quartered schemes, and like, it's quite nice to get that mix in there, so it's not all one shade. The gold dome. Litalis Mori, thank you very much. See, my hobby daughter knows, well, one of my hobby daughters, there's two, knows which one's which. But yes, it's been a fun weekend. Obviously, some of you would have seen my posts on either Facebook or Twitter, with what I was up to on Saturday, and why I didn't do a show, because I was at the Alien War boot camp down near where you used to live, Ivy. I was down just past Maidstone, between Maidstone and Ashford, a place called Smarden, which is probably only around about 5 miles from where you were. Yeah, it was. They were doing it all weekend. They were there from the Friday till the Sunday, doing basically what next year is the 30th anniversary of Alien War, which was an attraction in London, and it was the best-selling. It was voted the best attraction for about 18 months during the mid-90s when they first opened, and lots of people have remained in contact and stuff, and I got back in contact with a few people that I knew from there. I didn't actually. I done the audition. I got interviewed by a TV show, London Tonight, whilst queuing up. I was just a very skinny 18-year-old with a very immature goatee. I was, I didn't look like a Marine. I looked like the guy that, if you watch the old Vietnam movies, like the new guy who turns up and gets blown up straight away. That's the sort of look I had back then. Short hair, goatee, very skinny. Almost stick insect like. So I went to this audition, and I was right at the front of the queue, and all the guys from the front of the queue, we sort of all bonded. And funnily enough, out of the group we were there with us, 3 of the guys out of the sort of 6 of us got the job, basically. One of them actually went on to be the manager at AMO for a while before he went off to work in the film industry. And you may have seen his work in such things as Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Fast and Furious. The Fast and Furious, if you're a fan of Fast and Furious, I think it was about 5 or 6, I can't remember. There's a scene where they're being chased by a tank and it's blowing things up. Doug was the person in the tank blowing things up, amongst others. What else did he do? Reign of Fire with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. He was inside the dragon doing all the flames and stuff, because he does special effects and stuff like that, amongst other things. But yeah, so after being reunited with a few guys, one of my buddies, Steve Pyatt, decided, let's do a big 30th anniversary. They did a 25th reunion thing, but they wanted to do something a bit bigger. So next year they'll be doing like an event where they'll be redoing the experience of Alien War, and that's what this weekend was about, was getting people to join in and learn what to do, because they'll be cast within this sort of event. Well, that's the plan anyway. So yeah, I visited that because I was told in uncertain terms by my friend Doug when I saw him, and my friend Steve, who unfortunately died of a sudden, a quick and violent dose of cancer, which just turned up in November, and he was dead in January. But he was the real mastermind with getting this thing going, and when it was first organised, he basically said, like, you've got to be at boot camp, and I said, well, I can't because my boss is on holiday because it's his birthday, so he always takes his birthday weekend off. But I said I promised that I'd be there on the Saturday night to do it, and I have to keep my promises, otherwise I'm not a good forger Mars. So I did that, and it was great to see a lot of the other cast members from there, and hang out with some of the guys who'd turned up, took some photographs, which obviously I posted on social media and stuff. But yeah, it was a great evening, even though it was a very short few hours I was amongst them, but very enjoyable nonetheless. Sorry. Yeah, sunny Kent. It was bloody cold. You know, the place we was at was one of the former cast members actually has a nice house with some land where he was organising this thing. So he was, we was all down there. It was quite a bit chilly. We got a fire pit going, so that was all right. But yeah, that was that's why I wasn't around on Saturday night for Saturday Night Reaver. Always need a red shirt though. Oh, talking about red shirts, Thursday. I don't know if anyone's bothered getting it yet, but Thursday, the 5th of May, which is quite weird really, because obviously May the 4th, May the 4th be with you, and Revenge of the 5th. But on Revenge of the 5th day, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is released to the world, but on Paramount channel. But yeah, it was I'm looking forward to it because I love Anson Mount, who played Captain Pike, and yeah, it's something to be looking forward to this coming Thursday. So I watched I showed the opening credits type video the other day, and my friend Scott sent that over to me, and it was like, oh wow, that looks really cool, and it does. It's so cool that something you do as a scrawny kid can be meaningful for the whole rest of it. It's weird, yeah, it is, because it doesn't help that I've got quite a good sort of memory of those days. I can remember lots of things, you know, from way back when other people don't remember a thing. And as I say, I remember that day very clearly. I remember, you know, meeting these guys. I was meant to. We all agreed before going through with the auditions, as we was queuing up outside, that we'd all go to the pub afterwards. But being a scrawny teenager, I had no money. But when I came out of the audition, I looked around. I couldn't really see the guys. I knew that like Steve had gone through, but because there was loads of people there was like at least 1,000 people going through auditions that day, and I couldn't see them. Whether or not I just went ignorant, I don't know. And I thought, well, I've got no money to buy drinks, and I'm of that kind of mindset that I wouldn't go into a pub if I couldn't afford to buy a drink, not only for myself but for the people I was with. So I just thought, I'll just go, and I just went. And then when we was all sort of like getting to know each other again and stuff, catching up as such, Steve mentioned that, oh yeah, you was the where's the other dude, you know, because when they're all in the pub they're going, where's the other dude, because I didn't go. So a legend was born there, because I'm still called the other dude, or they make jokes about missing the pub. So yeah, but yeah, all the people there, like all the cast members, it is like if you served in the forces, for example, you have that sort of band of brothers sort of thing. You know, you go through, you know, even if you don't go to war, you have that sort of you know, relationship with your fellow soldiers, and it's like that in a way. You know, you know what you've done, how you served, and all that sort of stuff. You've done your time, but yeah, and everyone just sort of has that sort of bond. A couple of the lady cast members in particular kept in contact all throughout, sort of thing, and yeah, those sort of bonds of friendship are really so quite unique. So yeah, it is quite good and quite amazing, really. Yes, thank you, my daughter. Yeah, he was a pretty impressive dude. So much about him, which is just, you know, I can't. It's not. Some of it's not repeatable on this show. Esprit de corps. Yes, my friend. It's yeah, it's just such a weird thing. Like I know I still have like obviously like through Facebook you're Engine Phil, the legend. Even though like, you know, I'm still like, you know, in communication with a lot of old school friends and all that. We went to school together, and it's not quite the same as, like, as I said, this little thing that I was a part of for for no time at all. I'm still sort of part of that group as such. So yeah, as I said to them the other day, they said like, "Are you doing the cast?" I said, "I think it would actually be wrong of me to do that because I didn't do it the first time, and I just don't feel that I should, because then that sort of takes something away from the story." No, Scott, this is one that I made. So using all the spare parts from, you know, the many kits that I've acquired, utilising, you know, just cutting down Warhound chassis, spare heads, because underneath that you've got the like spare fronts, because the Warhound kit you get so much like extra bits, unlike the Reaver. Like the Reaver, like I'd call it Alpha Reaver, the first one with the missile pods, las blaster, Gatling blaster. You've only got one head. In the beta one, you've got one head, but you've got three faces for it. So it's very hard to. I've got a couple of bases where somehow I've managed to have extra heads. Maybe if I bought a Reaver weapons pad or something like that. That I've done some Reaver heads on there. Warhounds you get spare heads. Warlords you get spare heads. Warhounds you get spare heads, but you don't with the Warbringer or Reaver, which is a shame. So yeah, I literally just go at various bits of like Civitas buildings, just cut them up, dump them in various angles, stack them up. Like the weapons I've actually used for the arms here is actually bits of they're the little bits you again from Civitas buildings. You get I don't know if I've got, yeah, here you go. So on Bivey's foot, you have those little bits there that you normally put on the outside of the Civitas buildings, but obviously I cut them up. So I used them, trimmed off the back a bit and made little arms, and then stick the little top parts that you get with these in place. Cut up a little bit of the Inferno cannon and one turbo. I only had one turbo laser bit. I don't know where the other part of it went, which is weird. And then because I don't use all the cables, I stick them around at various positions. So obviously where it's been blown to buggery, you just have them filling out. So all this will be like silvered up, and then you guys can help decide upon which loyalist Legio it's going to be. Yeah, we'll go from there. But bearing in mind with your decisions, I'm going to restrict it to Titan Death loyalist Legios, but not including Solaria, because I don't put my favourite ones as dead engines because of Juju. Engine Jill. Would you do a Vulturum Warmaster Iconoclast? I don't know. At the moment, with what I've got left to build, so we've got this I've got 1 Reaver. I've got 2 more Warhounds inside, and no, Scott, no, I'm not doing Direwolves because they're one of my favourite ones. Scott threw me off. And Phil. That's it, it's Metallica then. Even though they weren't there, were they? Or were they? No, they weren't there. What was they? I don't know. Oh, whatever Legio Aaron plays. Aaron's actually, he was going to do Ignatum, but within the group, somebody else wanted to do a Loyalist one, so he felt that he had to go and do a traitor Legio instead, which he's not quite decided upon which one he's doing. How many Direwolves are you planning on once they finally plonk them out? Well, Audax definitely needs 1 at least, maybe 2, because it depends on how if they're support Titans, and if they're going to be be able to be squadded up, or will it be something they can swap in or something? We don't know. So they obviously. Audax definitely need a little bit more heavy support as such. So I would say if 1 per maniple. So I've got 2 maniples now, so I'll get 1 per maniple, and I'd probably get 1 for my Solaria, because obviously they've got a few Warhounds with them that could be done. Would I do a Vulturum Warmaster Iconoclast? I possibly would, because I haven't seen one, to be honest. I haven't seen a Vulturum Iconoclast at all. I know Rue, who's one of the guys up at Games Workshop, Forge World Specialist Games, one of the writers, who does the amazing kit bashes of his House Malanax and his Vulturum Titans. I don't think he's even got one as of yet, so that could be something I could visit later on at some point. Ooh, I like the idea of that, Mac. Defensor. I do have a thing for Defensor. I do like them. So yeah, I think I can actually see that now. I can actually see that being a Legio Defensor Warhound with this dude stepping on him. And it seems fair. Yours is half painted. Well, you better get it full painted before I get one. Now, just before I start doing Xandri Dust, because I'll, on the bone areas, I base it with Xandri Dust, and then I'll go over with Screaming Skull. It's let's see what his name is on. I can never remember his name on the thing. Oh yeah. Oh my god, how can I not remember it? It's Rhubarb. @ Rhubarb. Rhubarb. RHUBARD. So it's @ Rhubarb in one letter type thing. He's one of the sweetest, nicest guys ever. A Storum. I've done a Storum. I've done one of your dudes. Hello, Sif. How are you, buddy? Lovely to have you here, dude. So, What am I doing? Right. Get back to what I was doing. Get back to what I was doing! Yes, so, my pleasure. Waiting for the new Chaos Knight so I can kit bash a Banelord. Ooh. Yeah, those, the mini knights and, well, the new Chaos Questoris Knight with those tusks. I do actually really like the look of that. I'll never get one because I'm not a traitor. Even though I'm currently painting up a traitor engine. But yeah, it's it does look quite impressive. And let's say, like, the Chaos Knights do look really, really cool. Make more, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Sif. I am going to end up making more, you know. I will be going through and doing more and more and more, no doubt. Pokes James. You two scamps. Poking each other. There's children about. Good long weekend with some hobby. Just torso doing Lucius Hound and doing SM Redemptor for my relictors. Oh yeah, your relictors. Never say never. But yeah, it's I don't think I've done. No, I haven't done. I'm just going to check because I do keep a record of if my phone wants to sort itself out. Really, dude? Right, Titan production. So I like to keep track of my stuff that I've yet to build. Right, so, well, actually, the Reaver I'm doing now. So there's only one Warbringer and the 2 Warhounds. Selection of weapons. Knights I've still got outstanding. Painted. Right, so that's the list. Can't reset. Oh, no. Anyway, yeah, so Legio Vulpa, Mortis, Laniascara, Furion, Interfector, and Vulturum are on the feet bases of some loyalists. Although actually the Laniascara is actually on the base of a traitor engine. It's just like walking over it, just in the way. Legio Astorum, Astroman I've done a couple of, Venator, Atarus, and Gryphonicus I've done for bases. So Defensor could be quite an interesting look, because it's obviously a totally different colour as well, because obviously you've got the bone and black, and then you've got the white and that green. What's the fun fact? Okay, right, the fun fact, it was a message on a chat with some of the guys from Specialist Games I was involved in a while back. The fun fact, it takes 16 Warlords, 5 Warbringers, 30 Reavers, and 44 Warhounds to have a unique Titan for every mana pool, plus 5 Warhounds if you just include Canis. So that's the fun fact. So, sorry. The other thing, I put random sort of Titan related things there because the other thing was when they released the Asterius thing. Was it James Phoenician Turner on 8018? I think it was him. Pretty sure it was him. I'm now doubting it, but he sort of was the first person I know of that dubbed it the Murder-Dillo, and so I changed the lyrics to this to show me the way to Murder-Dillo, make all my enemies weep like a widow, dreaming dreams of Murder-Dillo as it goes and murder thee, because it's this kind of guy I am. I like to improvise and do stuff. But sort this poxy phone out. That's better. Right, excellent. Solari is my primary Legio, so going Vulpur for my traitor force. Yep. I wish they would produce a Chaos add-on for Sprue for smaller Titans Knights like the Iconoclast. I think that a lot of people just create awesome stuff with, like, obviously Chaos kits anyway, with those sort of things, don't they? You have more. Yeah, the other fun fact was not really fun as such. So much so I don't even remember it. So I'll probably delete that. But yeah, it was just the one fun fact that I was told. Yes. So Phil, are you doing your Titans today, or are you doing Paul's Titans today? What are you up to? Yeah, I do. So I think in the conversation somebody said, well, you need to have twice that in order to have loyalist, and because obviously I have enough to do it all, but they're all different legios. So, and they said, well, you're gonna have to buy more. So obviously I've got to keep Forge World's wheels are turning. Oh, you're doing Paul's ones? Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see what you was up to, mate. That's all. Just checking in. Making sure you're up to no good. There's no like two thin coats in this. As long as you've got some on there, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit thin because we'll be going over it anyway. So no problem there. So what else have we got going on this week? Well, this is a bank holiday Monday, but I was working. I hope you were not working, at least. Most of you weren't, probably. Well, end of this week is the big one, the open day at Warhammer World, which is going to be quite interesting, I hope. Let's see what's going on with the world of Horus Heresy. A few of us here are actually going to be going. We was all lucky to get our tickets. I know how mental it was, but that's the thing. Nobody realised how small it was going to be. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Saturday, yep, that's it. I wonder if we'll ever get an Imperator. I reckon we will, to be honest, at some point. Obviously, at the moment, I think they're more focused on Heresy 2.0, with that coming out. So we've got the Direwolf to come. Then we've also, like, with things like the size scale 7 and scale 11, what's going to happen with them? We want to know these things. We want to know what's going on. But yeah, but the problem you've got with an Imperator is going to be cost. And if they're going to do it in resin, that's going to be one hell of a engine to buy. So yeah, it's going to be tricky because Imperators, like from Horus Heresy Weekenders, they've always said that Imperator is quite a beast. Tony Cottrell's even went to say that it is on a par to a 40k Reaver in AT scale. And a Reaver Titan nowadays in resin is nigh on 800 quid with its weapons. Would somebody buy, like, yes, it's an Imperator Titan, but £800 for a playing piece for a small game, it's going to be bonkers. His Titan Carapace' most liked post on Insta. Guess people don't like Metallica. Well, it's Metallica, isn't it? You know? Maybe people are staunch loyalists, and we just don't know about those Metallicas with their little split that they had during the heresy. Can you trust a guy who does that? Or maybe they're just not metal fans. My most liked post on Instagram, it was the work in progress of my iconoclast for Legio Kryos. The actual completed model got just over half the amount of likes, which just seems weird. Geez, dealer, why are you confused? Oh, because it's Monday. Hello, Sophus. Oh yeah, yes. We all know you hate Gav. Such a harsh word. Harsh. But yes. As I was saying earlier on, Sophus, or Sophus, because I wasn't on Saturday, I was going to make up for it tonight and hang out with you guys and do some hobbying. That's the plan, and I'm sticking to it. Once I get the War Master and Warlord I'm working on finished, I've got a Legio Sinister Side Titan now. Oh, yeah, Side Titans are such a cool model. I played a side. I've only played my Side Titan once, which was during lockdown when me and Phil had a garden hammer meet up around his. And unfortunately, I didn't quite know the rules right, and so I was really going into one, like, because I thought, bloody hell, it's so expensive, and you know, I'm not getting any juicy like hits and stuff because I didn't realise the Sinistorum Tenebrae, the big nasty wet laser weapon that it has. I didn't realise it bypassed shields, and I didn't realise that it auto hit. So I'm rolling to hit, and then Phil's doing his shield saves because he didn't realise that he didn't get shield saves. So remember, people, to read the rules and understand them as best you can. Sofas. You have to remind me every now and again. Sofas. What did the sofa do? Damn my southern tongue. Yeah, so I find when doing armour plates that actually filling in the plates with colour is actually a lot more easier than doing the trim. Your shields are just that good. You did well. You did well that day, especially with that little manoeuvre around the tower block. I did not see you doing that. Did not see you in a month of Sundays doing that, and you did it. And that threw me off with your cunning tactical flexibility. Yeah, sofa. It's like the big thing where you had people with the spelling of Istvan. Was it I-S-T or is it I-double-S-T? And then is it V-A-N-N or V-A-N? So much goes on. All the stuff. I wonder if Rob, I thought Rob would have been on. I don't know if Mouse is going to be with us tonight. We will see. Oh, the sound is off, is it? So I'm just catching up with some of the chat. Rapier class. Well, Rapier was smaller than a Warhound in the book Titan Death. So it's like a size 5 Titan. Try and knock my paint over for a bit. I'll try not to at least. That's the plan. I was re-watching yet again the most epic movie Master and Commander on the Far Side of the World the other day, and it is such a great film. If you haven't seen it, I would heartily recommend you do. One of Russell Crowe's good movies. He's done loads of good movies, but it is a really good movie. I was even tempted to actually maybe one day name a Titan after his character, because at one stage his friend who's a doctor and a naturist, jokingly said, "Oh, I'd name something a shrub after you or something," and Captain Jack Aubrey said, "Well, make sure it's something prickly and hard to kill." And the name Tetsudo Aubrey. I thought, well, that sounds like a proper Titan sort of name. Yes, it was also the world where the Pharos was back in the day. That's why the Tyranids attacked it, because it's where the thing was. Because it was that brought the Tyranids to the galaxy as well. So you could say it's the Ultramarines' fault. Well, Ultramarines and Night Lords' fault. It would have been fine if it weren't for those pesky, meddling Night Lords coming around here, skinning people. Started her Warhound. Well, she's done her first Gore Crows one the other day. For AT anyway. There's a blog out there entitled Sons of Suffer. Not updated for a few years. That's the thing, sometimes with blogs and that, you just get distracted quite easily, don't you? Should I magnetize my Reaver chain fist up and swap it out for a power fist and have a Puteless Reaver? Double fist fill or no fists? He could take it. I think to crack him. If you're still procrastinating. We'll get you on it. Have no fear. We will help. I'm trying to decide whether to repaint my AT1 so I'm happier with it, or whether it's just YOLO it and go straight to the big boy. Well, that's the thing. You've got to be happy with it. There's no point doing something and not, because you're just going to look at it every time and go, I don't like you, and it's going to be a negative. So we've got to help find you an even balance, so you can be happy and content with what you've created. But those Malanax Knights you've done, they turned out really well, I thought. We are sort of replicating Nick's technique. But you can do it. You have the skill sets. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to basically just paint all of it Xandri now. And then go over the parts I want with the Corax black when I want to. Just gives that extra layer. It was strange because I was looking up for a thumbnail for the tonight's live stream. I couldn't find any. Well, because I don't like just posting up random pictures of people's stuff. So I use the official artwork whenever I can, or anything that I may have painted up, because that way I can't get into trouble for sharing my own pictures as such. And they don't have any artwork of Reaver. I think I would have liked, as you know, a Princeps and Magos, that with like artwork stuff that they did for the books, that they, you know, yes, it would have took more time, but it would have been nice to have a picture of each class in, you know, the livery of the Legios, you know. This father understands. It would always be a Yola. Yoloa. Nick is giving me more tips, even as we speak. Cool. I keep telling myself there's a long time till November. 27 weeks. There you go. Oh, you used the... Ah, right, yeah. So that's an idea, because they are similar scales. So... that was a smart move, young one. So I am sort of with this. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my thoughts into. Sorry, I just saw meep. With this weekend, with the Horus Heresy thing, like a few weeks ago, I was sort of like speculating that maybe that they would have had that box set going up, like a surprise pre-order or something like that for release on the day of the open day. But obviously that's not happened. So I'm just wondering what they will be releasing on the day, like heresy related. So will there be some models maybe? You know, they might not have anything really. It's going to be interesting to find out what the hell is actually going on. I'm still going to be excited as hell just being up there, because it's always nice going up to Warhammer World. But yeah, just why isn't it Friday already? But yeah, it would be nice to know if there is going to be anything out. The one thing I was really hoping was going to be out, because obviously they've sort of held back a little bit on stuff. So if the Direwolf gets a pre-order type thing come up, so but then obviously we can't collect it on the day, so that's not going to happen. The only things that they normally do early release as like exclusive for events would be either an event exclusive model that they might be bringing out, or it would be Black Library with books, because they do tend to, at the Black Library weekenders, they used to have, you know, stuff for pre-release. So like Titan Death I got from the 2018, bloody hell, 4 years, Jesus. The 2018 Black Library Weekender, I got that and Spirit of the Emperor, and both those books didn't come out until a few months after. So that was and that's why you see stuff on like eBay go up. Like someone will buy like hardback books and then like put them on eBay. It's like £100 or more. You know, it depends on what the market's like. So that's going to be something, because I think we are due a siege novel, which will be Aaron's one, because the last one, Warhawk, that was last year. So I could see it being on a sort of special edition or special release, pre-release for the event, if anything, because it's a heresy thing, although it's siege, which is also tying in with the current sort of timeline with this box set, really, because it's just before the Siege of Terror with all the Mark 6. But that's just my desires being made manifest. Would be nice. We will see. Warmaster 28mm. Well, yeah. Well, as I say, it was about this time 7 years ago when it was a Warhammer Fest type scenario, which is mid-May, that they released the Warlord. That was sort of but again, that was sort of mentioned a couple of weeks beforehand. Oh, dude, that's such a shame, man. It would have been lovely to have met you here. Oh, no, that sucks. But I say, at least with your generosity of giving your ticket away to somebody else, they are going to have a good time. So you're making somebody else's weekend, even though you can't make it yourself. So you're doing a good thing. They have said an exclusive model to buy and one for everyone. Ooh. That's going to be interesting. So 250 of them there. It's definitely going to be interesting. Well, at least we're going to see you at the walk with your Titans. Which will look amazing, because there's no other colours Titans like that. Like your Fortidus. The way you're making progress with that, your turbo laser on the thing is looks really good. You arse. Zonetary dust has been a little bit of not gloopy as such, but it's drying a lot quicker than it should. That's why I've been sort of doing regular wetting of the brush. Let's get that in there. I did start watching something on Amazon Prime called Outer Range with Josh Brolin, and I've heard like from a few friends like posting on Facebook about gotta watch it. Don't look for spoilers. Just yes, you know that one of those sort of shows. And I started watching it, and I can't. Maybe I should actually just sit down and watch it properly, not actually be doing other things whilst it being on. I'm still trying to find out what's going on. I've only watched the one episode, or I haven't even finished the first episode, and they're in shenanigans. But I feel that there's something else underneath. You know, one of those. You know where you can sort of read into the actual thing, and you know that there's something else going on, but you just can't figure out what and how, and yeah, it's just one of those sort of shows. That weird stuff has happened. I'm not going to say anything about it. There's a weird thing in there, but obviously they're just setting up stuff. But yeah, I'm just getting a little bit like, what's going on? Cheers, Lee. Should be getting Primer on soon, but then I have eye up in 2 weeks, so put me out of attack. Still, there's a deadline to be met. Well, I'm sure that once you've had your op and you're operating on full power visually, that you'll blitz through it, dude. Because you don't tend to hang around, and you know your scheme pretty well by now, so you'll actually just chunk through that, no problem. It's just like with Raptorus. I honestly didn't realise how quick I did it in. I wasn't trying to do it fast, it just happened. Like getting the weapons done, they're only, you know, there's a small part of it, but they do add to the total, you know, look at the end of the day. And I was just surprised that once they were done, I was just looking at it going, I've got the weapons done. And it was just, it didn't feel right. And then obviously next minute it was being painted up to you know, legs, torso, carapace. Once Rob had sent me his one over, whilst I was still waiting for my replacement, because the replacement didn't turn up until like the day before the actual Titan walk. So I'm really pleased that Rob was able to help me out in that regard. Do you guys spray your Titans with varnish before primer? I read that somewhere apparently it makes the primer stick better. I did on Raptorus, but I'm saying I did, but for the most part, but I think I missed a bit because I was looking. I took Raptorus out of its box the other day and I noticed there was a paint flake missing. So obviously I hadn't done it properly. But yeah, it was like giving it a clean, and then just because of paranoia, I did give it some varnish, but I might have. Yeah, because what it does, it seals it. So matte varnish, gloss varnish, whatever varnish, because it's another layer. So obviously it seals. Pardon me. If there is any oily residue, it's sort of meant to seal that in as well. So yes, I have heard of people doing it. I have done it myself, although as I said, I might have done it not as good as I should, because it's just on one of the weapons arms. I noticed that there was a bit that had come off. But yeah, it is something that people can do. And Mac does it in Warlords. Yeah, lead belcher is such a funny spray. It goes on really well, but it can be a bit cheeky. It's a cheeky little paint. Well, the ones I use, Umbro. I've never had any problems with. Well, that's a satin. I use satin gloss and matte. So, as I said, it doesn't really matter which one you put on first, and then paint over. But yeah, I buy in like a couple of cans at a time of this one, or you can get it from Homebase. Hobbycraft have them in stock. They're not the biggest; they're only like 150ml, but they do the job. You know, obviously, some people have been using, which I haven't tried myself yet, but the clear coat type stuff that Halfords, because I use Halford primer, but apparently the Halfords like clear coat sort of varnish they do is pretty good as well by all accounts. But I haven't tested that out as of yet, so I'll stick with it because obviously bought a few cans, so I'll wait till I go through them a bit first before trying something else. And when you're doing obviously your decals, you use your gloss varnish before doing any decals because it helps hide the shininess of the actual decal, you know, the surround bits, and then give it another coat, and then give it some matte afterwards, or satin, whatever takes your fancy. Alright, that's all of that. Apart from then, oh damn it. Yeah, no, I only use the pledge or clear when doing oil washing or oil weathering. Sorry. So I'd spray that over a model first, a couple of thin coats of that before doing oil weathering. So I may have had already done some coats of varnish, but I always add a couple of sprays of pledge before doing oil weathering. That's too wet. Which Laura? Was it Richard and Laura? Or do you mean Lauren? Very behind varnishes. If it's going to flake primer, will flake varnish. There you go. See? It's matte. Engine Philip. Yeah, Engine Phil's telling you, just clean your resin properly. Sloth in a hammock. How about no? So I called Laura the other day, but then again Laura was on the same chat anyway, so yeah. Who knows who I was talking to? Yeah, see, when Phil washes his resin, he actually climbs in the bath with it. Oh, awesome! Excellent! You're supposed to clean it? Yes! Apparently so, you are, Luke. Luke. Clean your resin, Luke. Right. Get that on the way for a sec. Or shall I? No, actually I won't. I'm going to tap fence and find tyrant skull, because for a little break from painting, although it's still technically painting. I'm sure I can hear fireworks going off out there, which is weird. Don't sort of expect that sort of shenanigans on a bank holiday Monday. Yep, definitely is fireworks. good distance away from where I am. Please tell me you cleaned the parts of yours. Wish I'd known you had. I would have checked some BB stuff for me. Speed ran. It didn't I? All cheerleaders. I think it's time for me to do some late night airbrushing. Go for it. Are these cheerleaders exclusive to Warhammer only, or would other stores have them? I nearly bought those ages ago, but then I figured I could just look in the mirror. Hush your mouth. I'd love some battle bling weapons like Ursa's Claws, but I've been told GW are quite adverse to printed bits. Yes. Yeah, they're not. That's the thing. If you had battle bling stuff on something and you was playing a game at Warhammer World, they would ask you about not having it on there, because it's like eating a McDonald's in a Burger King. You know, it's just you don't do that. They've got to look after their own interests as a mega corporation that they are. It's like when I had my Solaria, I was up at Warhammer World, and Baz, who runs the gaming hall, actually asked if I'd be interested in putting my Legio Solaria in their one of the cabinets, sort of thing, up there, and I was all for it. And then he noticed I had the versatile terrain name tags on there, and he said, I can't do it because they don't sell that item. They can't have it in their cabinets because not only is it is advertising another company's product, but because they don't sell it, so they can't showcase it. Although I know that things have slipped through the net, you know, no one's perfect at the end of the day, but you know, I can understand that. But maybe they could have done something like that. themselves. You know, Battle Bling do it. People privately do it. So why not? Well, I've taken all the name tags off of them anyway now, so just one of those things, really. What was I was going to do something. Oh, that's it. Legio Defensor. The black head. Gold trim. Boo. Right. Guess what I'm doing then? I was just quickly checking some stuff. Back on. I want another Titan. What? Another big Titan? Or another little Titan? We're going to go with Liberator Gold because it looks a bit more lighter and shinier, not so dark as Retributor. Right, and because it's a base, I'm not going to go too sort of precious with it. Although, technically speaking, I should. Right. Change of plan. He says, yeah, fuck it. Get all that Legio Belchy stuff on. I wonder if Rob's going to be dropping in on that. Although Matt's probably got him working. Slave. Saw that, not for me, not yet anyway. A big one. Surprised John hasn't messaged you as he delved into Eldar now. Yeah, Dakalord. Everybody's going mad for Phantoms. Well, Phantoms are quite cheap in comparison, aren't they? So with these bases, it's literally just sticking lots of random bits that I've cut up all over the place. Most commonly used weapons are Inferno guns, because I never really use them, because as some of you know, I didn't start magnetising my Warhounds until I started doing Legio Ozidats, because I was trying to make them sort of, I say future proof, but you know, having weapon options like Ursus Claws could be quite interesting. Not that I've got any loyalist Ursus Claws, they're only on Audax, because it's, you know, it's their thing. They're the dudes with the claws. $600 to include bloody hell, they've gone up. Honestly, I only thought there was a few £100. That's right, people. I've just gone straight in. I've gone straight in. I have not even let it dry properly. I'm going straight in with that Liberator Gold. Just don't care, mate. Just don't care. He says. I do care. In right. Yeah, it's quite an old jump, isn't it, though? I was just thinking there was like £250. Yeah, filthy cheap. Not. Yeah, so get this weekend out of the way. The old open day. As I said, I'm really quite happy to be going with you guys, but also because I was planning on going up there anyway this month, because it's my birthday, so I wanted to go up to Warhammer World, and then this thing came about, so it's an early birthday treat. So it's all going to be good, groovy. So all my favourite people together. Well, most of them. Would have been better if circumstances were different for some of us, so you could all have attended. was letting the hair down today because I had a shower earlier on, and you've got to let it dry properly. Otherwise you just get stiff neck. Yeah, well that's what, as I said, normally around my birthday it's sort of like the old Warhammer Fest and stuff, so you get all the good shit come out. So like, you know, when they released the Warlord, it was just like, oh, because I think it was actually on my birthday. It was like, best birthday present ever. And the 10 that it took into the event to sell went. They were surprised. Really? They weren't surprised. Nobody's surprised. Not even the Spanish Inquisition. I'm still waiting for my t-shirts to turn up, let alone your hoodies. Because that's my whole weekend is those two t-shirts turning up. It means everything to me. Just don't know what I'm going to do if they don't. Bloody bank holidays coming around here, ruining my dress up. Be honest, I did actually think about doing a cosplay when they first mentioned about it. Because obviously you got like influencers such as Darcy Bono, who's coming over, and she's coming in her Latoya Siren cosplay. So that's going to be cool to check out. A shower. Oh, like be like proper twins, won't you? So when doing my bases and Titans on bases, I don't try to be too, you know, like on the button with them, because you're not really going to see that much. You want a hint of colour showing through, obviously, but it doesn't have to be perfect because it's been pulverised. But you know, get on what I can get on. Twinsies. Oh, the you two. I absolutely love you two. Oh dear. I hope so. I just, you know, I know it's a really hard situation that we are still all in, you know, a difficult situation. What with the world being on fire, and all that sort of stuff. But you know, I'd like to have a time where Warhammer had everything that you wanted. Everything you wanted, everything you need. It would be glorious. Glorious, I tells you. Alright. I was going to go Corvus Black, but I'm going Abaddon. Abaddon, Don. Black is rather funky too. Abaddon, Don. Kills you while you're on the loo. And rough. You can't have a 28mm chain fist on the carapace, Luke. I know that's your dream. But no. You can't have it. Oh, go on then. I actually, yesterday, finished listening to Titanicus by Dan Abnett. And obviously this was out a long time before they reissued AT. But even then, sort of the earlier Siege, I say earlier Siege, but earlier Heresy books. Hey, Rob's here. The world is good at last. In the like Mechanicum, they mention weapons that the knights have, which they don't actually have, because obviously knights weren't a thing when Mechanicum came out. And with Titanicus, same situation. I think Dan, for inspiration, was looking at the original like AT and Titan Legion stuff, and obviously people mentioning about weapons, because like there was a lot of things where, you know, Titans had like power flails and like heavy bolters that they had, like heavy bolters that they were carrying. Also multiple missile launchers. So like the shield stripper that Lord Halfpenny has. There was at least one Titan mentioned in that with arm mounted missile pods. Hello MZ, welcome. Hey, everyone's turning up now. All you guys are being fashionably late, aren't you? But yeah, we'll just let him rant on a bit, get all the you know, boring stuff out of the way, and we'll just turn up at peak show time. But you're welcome, as always. Is there much hobbying going on, or what you're doing? You're chilling? What's occurring in the worlds of you people? Yes, the Rob is live and unleashed. We got the crew. We're missing a mouse, but obviously, you know, time difference, and she might be busy on Mondays. Who knows? Mouse. Hair in the way. So with this actual base, that's how this is going to be mounted, like that. Because when I put that on there, I put it in the wrong sort of way. So yeah, because you can't. Well, I don't know. That's going to be a pain in the ass. So yeah, that way. Once I get it on. Yeah. Corvus Black almost went for a duck. Oh, well done on your eBaying. Realise I didn't do the head. Gotta do his head. That's just pure cheek. You're a cheeky chap coming in. I was actually looking at some more Titans on eBay. They had one lot of Legio Gryphonicus that had a War Master, 2 Hounds, a Reaver, and I think possibly either another Reaver or a Warbringer, perhaps. There was no Warlords in it, and they were alright. They were well painted. And they went for over 300 quid. I've still got £50 vouchers. Hello, Adam. Welcome, dude. Still got £50 of Games Workshop vouchers from Christmas, which I didn't spend when we was down at Tottenham Court Road. I was also looking at kits that I bought that I might take back and trade in. So yeah, that might be happening. Because I've got some Necron kits that I've not opened and that, and I've got a Primaris Executioner that I might also take back, because I've got no intention of actually building the bloody thing. It's all about the Titans, I tell you. All of them. All of the Titans. Titans. Titan. It was so sweet. Was having a hobby hangout the other day on Zoom, and with some of the Titan Owners Club dudes, and Matt came to the realisation that everybody else calls them Titans and not Titans. And it was just so sweet when he was like, you know how like innocent he can be. Yeah, bless him. So don't anyone else say that? No, we all say Titans, not Titans. Well, you've just made a 9-year-old a happy chappy. Or chapette. There was no indication of sex. Right. Luckily for me, he says, oh no, we weren't having a go at him. We said you could say however you want. You've earned that right. I find it quite endearing the way he says Titans. But it was that realisation that nobody else says it like that. Alright, let's do it the proper way. He says. No! Damn you. The only one I've got here You happy now? There you go. Damn. Sorted. Pardon me. Right. I'm in pure belligerent mood because damn it, why not? I touched 40 cases beginner Titanicus a few years ago, sold 2,000 points unopened army. Bloody hell. That's a good choice. I'm going to say otherwise. No, sod it. I'm going to experiment with something quickly. Some immature dickwads. Don't know if you can hear that. doing some sort of attempt at a wheel spin. Just added some Tesseract glow to that, just to jazz it up. On that. And let that dry a little bit before attempting anything else. Spinning skull. What do I want for my birthday? World peace and goodwill to all men and women. And anyone else as well, for that matter. World peace to everyone. Fuck it. Yeah, proper donuts. I'm not a big fan of going around trashing my car just to show off, pretend I've got a big pair of bollocks. I don't need to do that. Plus, you have to replace your tyres, and I don't want to pay out for tyres. I want to pay out for Titans. Not tyres, Titans. Other brush. It sounds like they've either stopped fucking about or they've gone to drive-through McDonald's somewhere. Tight tyres. Will they ever do the 3-litre Titan? The Triton? Maybe one day. And then they used to have the Warden Knight used to be on tracks. Or the Eldar Knights that had basically like Sagittarius sort of legs, 4-legged knight. Triton. There's I was with as I said earlier on about listening to Titanicus and obviously the differences between the Titans in there and Titans of the new AT and stuff like that. It's quite interesting to see like from where he was using all the older stuff, you know, with like certain weapons being mentioned and stuff. Hoppyton. Actually, it sort of reminds me of a Derek and Clive sketch about the one-legged actor who wanted to play Tarzan. It was Dudley Moore is the one-legged actor, and the Peter Cook is the agent, the film casting person. It's going on about you are applying for a role a one-legged man applying for a role that's traditionally for a two-legged person. You, a unidexter. Said, look, I'll be honest with you, I've got nothing against your right leg. The problem is neither of you. Wonky bendy brush. So I'm leaving that blank. The reason why is I want to put some like heraldry on there, and I don't know what colour to put it on there. I want to do it sort of different to stand out from the rest, if you know what I mean. Probably just end up as white or something. How's the airbrushing going, Ivy? He sings and makes noise. Very well, excellent. That's what I like to hear. Shit. And it doesn't really matter to me. On the smoothness on certain parts. I've got a Vulturum Reaver pretty much base coated. Nice! Second carapace for my Warhound. Nicer! I think if you can just swap out the carapace with the better one, it will do a lot for the whole model. If it's possible, it's always worth a try. Why not? If you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I keep telling myself that. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's right. You have gradually coming together. Pledge spraying time. You go for it, girl. Unleash the cleaning materials. Get them on. Get them on. And clean the nozzles afterwards. Oh, shitteroonie. Shitteroonie, shitteroonie. I just realised. Realised I dropped the Vulcan Mega Bolter. That's going to be a look at it differently anyway. Lemon Pledge. Have you made Wonder Wash with your pledge? Pray tell me, what is Wonder Wash? Filipito. Oh dear. 100 miles away. But you won't be in a few days' time, will you? You buffoon. Now you're in for trouble. Oh, I'm proud of you. Wonder Wash, 10 milliliters sepia, 10 milliliters flesh shade, 10 milliliters yellow wash, 10 milliliters Agrax, 10 milliliters purple wash, 150 milliliters floor polish. And is that the wash of washes? Will that wash everything within an inch of its life? Quite a lot of mix. It's a simple chucking everything mixed to give shade, interest, variance in colour. Hello, Felicity. How are you? Welcome. So lovely to see you here. You're not the first person to ask that. In case you hadn't seen the tweets or anything that I put out earlier on, because I didn't do one last Saturday because I was at the Aliens War boot camp thing. I said I'd put on one on Bank Holiday Monday because what else am I going to do? And I miss you guys. I miss you all. How are you today, Flick? What are you up to? You just popping in to say hi, or are you actually doing any painting this evening with your gobos and stuff? What are you working on if you are? I want to know the hard... I'm giving you the hard questions. The real soul-searching ones. What are you doing? Have you got paint? If you haven't got paint, why haven't you got paint? Tell us. Don't hold out. Right. So I see Neil has gone with very blonde hair now. Well, I don't blame you. Laying in bed is a good place to be. If I could paint in bed, which I probably could, you know me, I paint anywhere. But if I could, I would. But it wouldn't be very entertaining because the computer's not upstairs. And all the setup. I'm working on Snow White Sleeping Beauty minions while I'm painting. Can't seem to get the hang of. Yeah, that's the thing. Blues can be a right bugger, and especially when you're trying to replicate the blue from something as iconic as Snow White. Having to try and find the right shade that you feel happy with as well. You know, you got to just experiment and see what crops up and pops up. Oh, the wheel spinners. They're spinning their wheels again. It's not like my younger days when I used to go with a Coke can on my back wheel of my BMX bicycle, just so I would sound like a motorbike. Well, thank you. That's, I'll put that into the ideas box for future productions. We'll explore these avenues at a later date. We'll wait for all the market research to come back in before committing to such a grand plan. It's tickled me. Getting the hangs of greens, but the blue is either too bright or too dark. Yeah, like if I had a blue that was too bright for myself, I would probably go and water down some like nightshade or something, like make a glaze, not so much of a shade but a glaze, and see how that works, if that tones it down a tad, because those little things, like a wash can totally change any aspect of a paint colour, as you'll see once I get Agrax on this dude, because I use a watered down Agrax. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, shades, washes, glazes, they all do a job, and they can help turn that not quite right into right. So yeah, what blues are you using? Are you using like GW ones, I take it? Like McCrag? Or are you going to go sort of something a bit brighter, like sorry, oh damn it, Calidor Sky or something. I have a good 25 different pots of blue. Was originally going with Tempestus, but couldn't crack the Cobalt blue, so went with Solaria instead. And you haven't looked back, have you, really? Because your Solaria are easily some of the best out there. Yeah, I was just saying contrast blue because you've got the was it the Talisar? Well, it's meant to say Talisar, but that's got some Blood Angel over it. I don't know how he got the Blood Angel over it. I wasn't there at the time. Yeah, they are a bit funny then, but even like thinning them down can actually help with like doing it in layers. Could be a little bit more subtle to get closer to the sort of look that you want. Just taking it up gradually. I know they're meant to be like the one-stop paint, but again, sometimes just thinning it down can actually have quite a good effect on how a piece turns out. Look at me talking as if I know what I'm talking about. So at the moment, so on the Reaver butt section, for example, Xandri Dust, and then I've done a little bit of Screaming Skull, normal Screaming Skull sort of thing. I'm using for the black. I'm using Corvus black, but I'm using the air version. So it's like, instead of doing the old Duncan 2 thin coats, I'm just doing the 1 coat. But it's thinned down already. It's cutting out the middle band. And yeah, you tend to get decent coverage with them still. But with contrast as well, like I really do enjoy using contrast paints. The blues are a little bit, you know, compared to, I'm more comfortable with other colours within the ranges. But then again, I'm not, I say that, I'm not really using it, I've not used blue as a main colour on something. I've used it as like a little dash of it just to enhance something. Although I did work out a method for using Talisar over Lead Belcher. You get quite a good ultramarine look, rather than doing it over white. And what you can do with the Lead Belcher, I'm not rambling away from Snow White here, because Snow White doesn't have metallic blue accents really. But if anyone was doing ultramarine, it does come out quite nice, the Talisar over Lead Belcher. But you can sort of maybe do a dry brush of Iron Breaker, and sort of like a pre-shade in a way on certain parts, or like catching the edges, so it helps with the definition that the contrast when it dries gives. I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, for the last sort of 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes or so, I've had Hanson playing in my head. Like Umbop. And I don't know why, but it's there. And I've now had to share it with you. Try multiple thinner layers, it will solve the inky blotchy drying. Look, my little dune crawlers are all sandy bone in grey colour. Will do, but I do have fists. Blue contrast paint over white is great for plasma weapons. Yeah, no, that's true. I used to do that. Like first time I actually showed somebody doing like an OSL, which was pure fluke. I was using Guilliman glaze over like white, and then obviously just touching up lava layer and all that sort of stuff. So for a quick and effective option, it works, which is good. It's very good indeed. I keep spiking myself on this bloody tusk on this cursed bloody Reaver. It's hurting me. It goes ouch. Slow, slow process. Well, not really, but bubble wop. Must be your friendly neighbourhood street racers, yeah. They're out in full tonight. To be fair, there's not been too bad over the last couple of years. And obviously with the, I don't know if anyone of you heard that they're actually trying to do some sort of like noise camera type thing. So if your car is too noisy, that you get like a photograph of your car, like a speed camera, but for noise. Because yeah, they want more money. I just sucked a brush without realising it at all. Oh, that's a new hobby flavour. Yeah. Trying enamels, they're different, and flow paints tingle on the tongue. It's peculiar. You do know you're meant to put them onto models and not actually taste them, Rob. There's the old international brush lickers group out there. I remember a friend of mine was is part of it still, I believe. They've done like t-shirts and merch for the brush lickers. It's a thing apparently. Now obviously I've never directly drank pot water, paint water. But obviously you do get a little bit on the old brush sometimes when you're trying to get that nice tip, and you accidentally a little bit of the residue. Wow. So I was wondering if that's one of the guys who have left it. Because I'm quite near. The house is actually, even though it's not as a crow flies, it's quite near to quite a busy A road over here. Just the positioning. I wish that they had like a road that actually came down onto said A road, because I'd be out the house and on my way to work almost like 10 minutes quicker. Without having to go around the houses, but I have to go around the houses to get out. But yeah, you get cars, bikes just gunning it down there. It's like, oh yeah, look, I can do this, I can drive really fast. Yes, with their Coke cans. It's my only sustenance when painting for 8 hours. I've drunk my paint water many a time, sometimes by accident, and I clean my brushing coffee more times than I can remember. I've been consuming GW paints since before you lot were born, to be honest. In fact, I drank a whole pot of Skull White to prove to our kid's mum they weren't toxic. They made my poo white for a week. Dude, that's going above and beyond on so many levels. But at least you had brilliantly white teeth that people thought you was American. And just your luck, you'd probably drink from the batch that was like toxic. Don't get ideas, Ivy, about making your poo white. It's my party trick. Oh dear. I always remember calling somebody out, like they were saying that they'd done a tandem parachute jump, and that they took their GW stuff with them and they were painting as they was jumping, and it's like there is no way you could do that. I've fallen out of an airplane with an Australian attached to me once from 14,000 feet. There's no way, like even I would be able to sort of do that, because you're moving at 135 terminal velocity, you're falling to the ground, you've got a minute of free fall, and then maybe if you had some ingenious contraption, a tray or something, but it's carrying it all. It's like, oh, yeah, I've done that. You go, no, you didn't. Bollocks, you did. Like one of those, weirdest places you've painted your models. Yeah, true. Only one I hated, the brazen bronze, so it tasted like windling. So you know what windling tastes like as well, so we can assume that you had that at some stage. It answers a lot of questions that we had concerning you, Phil. So much explained. He's also flame retardant because he's half asbestos. Ooh. getting there. How long have I been going? Oh, where's the time? I don't know what the time is. I've played 11:15. Jesus. Going quite well. Didn't even realise it was that late. I was young and experimental. Hey, Edvin. Remember a friend back in middle school who wanted to prove the paints were fine to get in your mouth, so he basically just did that. A full gollop on his brush, skull white. Yeah, this is not my idea of fun. I'd rather put them on the palette, and then onto the brush, and then onto a model. Not in my gullet. I probably had weird things in there at some stage. I know I'd done a lot of crazy shit as a teenager, so I could imagine he didn't enjoy it. One of the worst. It doesn't sound bad until I continue the story. So basically, when I was 19, when I first sort of moved out of London, I was working in a flooring shop in Basildon, and actually I might have just gone 20 actually, because I was living in this little studio flat thing, which basically means a bed in the lounge, and I went out for it was my friend Norman. Our birthdays were close together, so his was, well, it still is because he's still alive. His is on the 8th of May. I was on the 13th, and so we used to do a little joint birthday thing. And we went to a Pizza Hut where one of my friends sort of worked. It was his night off, but we went there for birthday shenanigans, and I was, being me and drinking a bit and eating pizza and what have you, as you do in Pizza Hut, funny enough. And for some reason it came round to the thing about, what you should do is actually apply for a job here and come work here with my mate Nick. So I thought it was a great idea. So I applied for a job whilst drunk, and I got the job. So I was working from 9 till 7 at the carpet store, and then I'd get dropped off there because I wasn't driving at the time, by my boss, because it was on the way to our head office where we had to take all the paperwork to at the end of the day. So he should drop us off there, and then I would work until maybe 11 o'clock, possibly later, depending on what shift I was on. And literally I was drinking coffee throughout the day, and then I was on like Pepsi Max or whatever it was, Diet Coke, for the evening, and eating pizza, garlic bread and stuff, because you'd always accidentally make one, or you made a mistake and they send it back, so you used to put it on top of the oven and you'd share out bits of pizza for your lunch when you had your break, or when you was going home. If there was like pizza up there, you go, I'm going to take that, that's mine. And this one evening, myself, Nick, the assistant manager called Gary, Anna Hazel, I think her name was, and we've all gone back. We had done a late shift, and we've all thought, let's muck about a bit more. So we got some drinks and stuff, went back to one of the girls' flats, the apartment they had, and obviously continued drinking, laughing, making jokes, and then it got on to like truth or dare, and I did a truth or dare, and basically I had to, but they said I've got to put my head back and then fill my mouth with mayonnaise. okay, I don't like mayonnaise, but I took the dare, so I went, okay, I'll do it. But they also put in there like it was like not only mayonnaise, but it was like garlic mayonnaise as well. So getting that shoved in there and having to, you know, because I say, as I weren't a fan of mayonnaise, it was quite terrible. So I've had that. We've obviously up until the early hours of morning, crashed out on the sofas and armchairs and stuff. Next day, heading home, and I had the mother of all toothaches, and it was just like nothing was touching it, and I thought I've got to get this sorted. I've got to get, you know, because it was a bad tooth basically. So went to the dentist. I still hadn't been home, so I got in there. I was in so much pain. I just like think. So I am absolutely stinking of booze, cigarettes, and garlic mayonnaise, and pizza and garlic bread sort of thing. And I just remember this dentist, like, sort of, even with his mask on, was like going, and like, you know, like when you're in so much pain, you just don't care. Like you just think, oh, you realise, fuck, I must be absolutely stinking. And I had to have the tooth out. Literally, I just said, look, I can't afford anything. Just take the tooth out. So he yanked it out and like gargled and stuff like that. I've always felt really, really bad for that guy. That emergency dental treatment. Oh dear, but I must have actually absolutely hummed. I don't think I could ever replicate that smell. It's like pure like garlic cloves in your face and booze and cigarettes. Oh, such a skag. Right. Oh, bugger. I realise I haven't painted the other side. These bits. Titillating pink was the best, like Strawberry Angel Delight. Really? Mayo boarded. Yeah, pretty much actually, yeah. It was like a proper head back and they just squirted it in there. Done something similar. There was me and my mates used to really enjoy this sort of alco pop type thing called 2020. It was a lemon, lime and kiwi fruit 2020. It was green. it was like that, and we used to call it Sacred Green. We worshipped this thing, and we used to drink loads of it because it was cheap, and you would get quite happy off of it, and it tasted nice. And when I bought my first flat, had no furniture at all. Like just had some sofa cushions I got from somewhere. I don't even know where I got them from. And everyone sort of piled round as you do. Yeah, because Lee's got a house. He's got his own place now. It's all piled around there, and housewarming with 2020, and I literally just was laying with my head on the floor, and my mate Jim and Scott were like pouring bottles of this stuff into me. It tasted so good, and I did make a bit of a mess because it weren't all going into my mouth, so it was all over my face. But yeah, high jinks, people, high jinks. doing Truth or Dare with like mango chutney and stuff. Granted, we were younger. Yeah, but that's the thing. We do these stupid things when we're younger. Get them out of the system. We learn our lessons. Well, we're meant to learn from these sort of things. Keep telling ourselves. Learn, damn it, learn. No, I refuse. Yes, orange squash. Still partly cold as well, which is always good. With a squeaky, twisty turny bit. Right, where's my agrats? Right, see, quick. There's Rackar Flesh for the banner. Banner's done. Creamy, 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 bone, 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 bone. Not gonna be that for long, 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 long. this is just an agrax straight over what I've done earlier, which was obviously grey primer gone over with some Mechanica Standard Grey, then dry brushed it with Tyrant Skull, and then agrax. Avoid white. Actually, most of the armour plates of the Titan, but honestly, the metal in particular, agrax works really well. Just love how it weathers it, darkens it nicely, very nicely. Just gives it a whole better look than, as I said, known oil. I hardly use known oil. Don't know where the other part of that turbo laser's gone. Unless I've used it on a base somewhere else. Who knows? Just can't keep track of my weapon systems. I'm so glad this happened today. I was having such a block and I'm finally getting creamy painting Vulture. I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't remember what I said. If I said it first. And everyone just tuned in again. What the hell's going on? Is this what happens on this channel? He just laughs. Like, the eyes are a bit watery. Oh, bless you. I love you so much. Composure. Edward Jaws, I hurt him. I will snigger. I will snigger from time to time. Oh dear. Yeah, 2 batches of aggregates. How can you tell which is without ruining the model? I don't know. I just do stuff and it works. It works. So you'll be doing it on a larger scale. Says, did your AT Warbringer arrive yet? It did. I need to get started trying to pose out with it. Yeah, I did read that wrong. Broke me. Yeah. As I say, I'm going through this again. Things I can't be trusted with brushes and words. This is a respectable live stream. It's respectable yet juvenile. Very, very juvenile at times. It just caught me by unawares. Oh. Right, I'm going to tell a story. Right, okay. The worst time I was ever in a laughing fit was. I'm not sure. I may have mentioned this story somewhere. I don't know if it'd been on here or somewhere else. All right. See you later, Rob. Silly early start tomorrow. Hope to see you on Saturday. Yes, see you on Saturday, dude. Look forward to it, man. And be cool, be safe, do whatever you need to do, and we'll see you there. So anyway, I was at college, sixth form college, and being a student, no money, and I didn't have any money for lunch that particular day. Well, I had a little bit of money, but not a lot. After I say after lunch break, where I didn't have any lunch, I've gone back into my tutor group because we had my tutor group was also where I did my design and communication, and it was the last 2 hours of the day was a double D and C, as we called it. And my friend Richard, or Stokesy, because his surname was Richard Stokes, so Stokesy, who is a big lad, and obviously he's a big lad because he has food. And I asked him if he had anything he was willing to sell, because I had nothing to eat and I was hungry. And he's looked in his bag and he's pulled out an apple. Nothing particularly funny about that. But as he's passed it to me for inspection, do you know when an apple's skin gets punctured? After a little while it starts to brown. All I did was go, ugh. That's it. That's all I did. And it set Stokesy off. He found it hilarious. And he was just started laughing. Like I was just then, but worse. Big guy, big like laughs and that sort of thing. And we was like, what the hell's going on here? And it was just like, he just went on this laughing fit. And the problem is, when you're in that situation and you're laughing, and then you start laughing because they're laughing, and you look at each other, and because that other person's laughing, you're laughing at their laughing, and they're laughing at you at that laughing. And so it was this feeding off itself of laughter. So we're all laughing now. And we're looking at Stokesy, and the way he's laughed as well. He'd gone from like normal laughter, to basically he's going like that. He's just trying to get air into the system, and he's a big guy doing that, and he's just so wrong. It's not the sound you expect from a large man. And so that makes it even more funnier, because he's laughing like that. Like it almost sounds like he's on helium, this laughter he's got. Like that. And we honestly solidly laughed for about 5 to 10 minutes, because it was just feeding off each other. And like our teacher came into the class, because they used to, the class next to us, because it was like a workshop, we was in the main part, around our sort of central sort of work desks and all that sort of thing. And then you had like the AS level class in a classroom just off of it. And he's coming to see what was going on, and he's saying, what are you going on, sort of thing? And nobody could answer him. We're just laughing, and like we're laughing, but then we're pointing at Stokesy laughing, and we're laughing whilst we're pointing at Stokesy, sort of thing. And we just couldn't talk. We had no ability to communicate apart from laughter. And he just gave up. He just walked off. He just closed the door and just left us to it. And we were in so much pain, because her cheeks were like absolutely, ripped us with laughter. And it's just, I've never experienced that same levels of hilarity without the use of drugs. But yeah, it was just an innocuous comment about punctured skin on an apple, and it just set us off for ages. Oh, yeah, my jaw hurts just thinking about it. Night, Phil. See you later on, dude. Might see you later in the week or something. Or I'll speak to you anyway. Take it easy, dude. Sweet dreams. Injun Jill. Sweet Filipito. Angriest princeps. So angry. He's not really. He's just a grumpy fuck. I heard that, Marshall. Right. Little electrics on here. Yeah. Right. No, Luke, that doesn't work. It does not work. No. I've evolved. I'm beyond that now. I'm way beyond. Right. Well, I'm glad that Ivy you're making good progress with your stuff tonight. What it's all about, and you do often have good sessions of hobby, and you know that's what you say. Sometimes you might not feel like it, but you know, just getting on and doing it. Sometimes it can break the duck. I don't think that's a phrase, but I'm going with break the duck. Actually, looking forward. I've got a day off tomorrow. Just realised that because bank holidays. I don't know about you guys and girls if it's the same applies to you, but do you get thrown out as if you feel like you've had a second Sunday? Because for me, I work Sundays, I work bank holidays, but because there's the same work hours, it just feels like a Sunday, and then that throws my week out completely. And what I'm doing, what that you can say, yeah. When I get into the the bone plates, I'm using the watered down Agrax, and if I'm on to the main bit or the black, I'll just go with normal Agrax, because the Agrax undiluted is too strong for the bone. And so make something of that now. Oh, puddle ducks. easily rectified by adding water. I'm so not ready to go back to work. Yes, it's annoying. It's weird. At times I have actually missed lockdown because not working, but then with lockdown it was a bit boring at times. There's only so much of like Netflix or whatever, Amazon, whatever you want to watch, and activities. Fall over. Oh, he says, in pain. I think the carapace might actually have worked. I put it on raw and just use a swab to dull it down. Yay, well done. Well done indeed. Knight Mach 10. thank you for coming and hanging out with us. It's been a pleasure to have you on board for the few hours that we've been going. What is it? 3.5 hours? Jesus, monkeys. 11:30. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm surprised I lasted this long. No, I've got to finish that off tomorrow. There you go, that's the easy answer. I'll finish it tomorrow. Tonight, more animals on the Reaver, I think. And Knight. Yeah, so it's so that's position it's going to be on. I'm actually what I'll do. I'll watery down. Let's play it safe. Go around the edges of the trim. So just doing this really does help give that definition to your models. Even though you're not really going to see most of this. Get it done. I'll do some touching up as well. In a way as well, with this watered down Agrax, it does add a little bit like an ink, so it flows so much better and sort of does help hold to the edge a little bit. Sometimes you might have to go over it twice just to give that definition. But yeah, looks good. Get a little bit around the bolts. But yeah, just doing that, it makes it look a lot better, a lot cleaner, even though it's dirty. It's just, let's put some more. beast. Touching up the trim. Ooh, almost dropped it. Yes, that is good. Worse. Worse. So I think with the sort of roughness of the brush strokes, it does help with giving a more bony effect in some places. Like on here, now this one here, you can see it's a lot worse brushstroke wise. But my plan with that is actually I was going to do some decals over that, which would be like a checkerboard. I just fancied a checkerboard on it. So that's what I'm going to put onto there. That's the plan. Plan for that bugger. And then obviously do all the other little bits and pieces that need to be done. Seraphim Sepia. And that sort of, if you're possible, let it sort of dry downwards. So, as I said, it's angled so it just runs down towards the tip. Make it more darker around that part in particular. So it gives the, obviously, where the heat's coming out of the nozzles of the flamer, down this end, it just looks a little bit more scorched. I will be going a little bit over with Drusy Violet and then Dragonoff Nightshade right on the very end of the actual nozzles for the scorching. Ooh. Obviously to take the Gore Crows with their super duper war gear of the Mega Bolter round, which then gives them maximal fire. That's why I thought, oh, I've got a one of these sitting in the box, so I put a Vulcan Mega Bolter on it. There's no point, you can't even see it on the screen, can you? Sorry, on there. A little bit of Agrax. I don't know why. I don't know why. Nope, super nope. That's what I want. I've decided that on here, the knee pad, I'm going to go over with Blood Angel contrast. Because why not? I want to sort of stand out. I might give it another coat of that as well. Yes, that's not too bad. What I'm probably going to do is get a small brush at some stage, maybe do a little bit of dry brushing. Though I might need to go over that again actually. That's a lot lighter because I did water that down quite a bit on that one. Whereas, so he tones in more with that dude, but not with that. Oh, now that's a tricky one. Oh, damn it. Because I'm using the black, the decals I've got are black, so they're not obviously, this is Corvus black, so not quite the same. So that might cause issue. I'll take you for a spin. I'll do focus. No, not being, finally get you working. Oh. That's what you missed. Oh, Sarah in Portugal. Oh, cool. I hope she's having a fun time out there. And fun fact, I only found out sort of recently that Portugal are the UK's longest serving ally, which I thought was quite wow. I thought it was quite impressive, you know. We like the Portugal and the Portugal like us. Goes back to the Armada days, apparently. Yeah, you need black. Black really makes like. Look at me, I'm here. Sorry. Black does make so much more of a statement than just going for one colour. But I'm actually quite pleased how it's going along. Ooh. I'll do some more. I'm going to do some more work on this tomorrow on my day off, so I'll probably be posting this up on Twitter at some stage. As you know, it's Titanicus Tuesday. Woohoo! I haven't done a Titanicus Tuesday for a while because obviously not painting. But at least I've got some weapon options to go. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's coming along so far. I know you can't see much there, but it's not bad, you know, colour wise. It's not a million miles off, apart from that one shoulder pad. Damn you! Damn you all to poo poo. Bad shoulder plate. Bad Lily. They should have done better. So yeah, that's I'd be saying that's about 90%. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I would just like to say thank you all for hanging out with you. Everyone who's been there, I hope you've enjoyed just seeing what the hell I've been doing. And chatting at you guys. I really appreciate you all coming out to hang out and stuff. What's that? My newly done carapace is much closer to the tone to these ones. Ah, excellent. Well, that's the thing. I want to see more pictures of your stuff as you progress, Ivy. Because I like to see what you're doing, and you know, seeing how you're going with the adventures in painting AT, and obviously upgrading to the big guys as well. We've got a long road to go, but you can do this. Yeah, I'm just trying to think because Wednesday is normally Artist Empire thing for an hour, but I'm not sure he's going to be on because he's actually having he's been unwell. It's like passing like kidney stones, I think he's got. So I have instead though. I've got to nail down what time, but I've got a Discord chat / interview with Goonhammer this Wednesday. I don't know how long that's going to be. So possibly might do something It depends on time. It will be very spur of the moment, if anything. Just depends on how long. Well, if Artist Empire is going to be doing stuff, and then if the Goonhammer thing goes quickly. But we will see. But yes, as I said, I've been rambling now. Thank you once again for coming out on Saturday Knight Reaver on a Monday this time, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I have. I'm really liking that Defensor Titan. It's looking at me going, hello. So could that be the Tet Fleet? No, shut up, Lee. Right. You lot, thank you one and all, and I shall speak to you again across various places, social medias and the like, and I'll catch you all later on. So Forge of Mars is signing out. Take care everyone until we meet again, and bye bye.